Today is January 9, 2024, and I have been to the health clinic and did some test, blood test, and took about my high blood pressure, and the high blood pressure have changed to be lower, and it is, I think it's because it start to be that I remember things from my childhood that was not good, it was evil, but I never told anyone because, as I say last time I recording, that my mother said to me that I should not say anything. She didn't want to hear, she say. So she created me to be take everything inside me instead to screaming to the outside, to be out going in what I felt, and I kept it to myself and had to only live with it. And I know this about the childhood trauma I had, and later also in life when I met men on my own, and they were evil men. I know it was created, it was the meaning to have this, to could take what I got later on also, that when I was 3.5 years homeless in the United States, it could not be in that way if I have not had an education as a child, to have people that was evil to me. I could not do the work for God. The work for God I have done the whole time is to test people if they help. And then that I couldn't do if it wasn't evil things around me. If I had been like other people, then I have not could do the work for God. It had been too hard for me. But now I was used to have evil things around me. So it works. It was when I couldn't stand it anymore that the higher priest and then God come in year 2000. And this night I had one more from my childhood. It seems like they start to heal me in that way, that I should remember my childhood and then to deal with it as an adult person, and have going through so much in life that I can take it because it's far away from me. It's many, many years since it happened. And I sit here, I have survived everything. And this night it was about, it was not talking because it was action first. Because I got a picture, a photo of that man I had talked to you about, that that he come through and talk to me, and then suddenly yesterday in the morning did I get a picture of him, and he was nude on his body. He didn't show between his legs, but from the waist and up he was nude, and it was not about how he looked like as a nude. It was the action he did, that he sent me a picture of him half nude, and he should be the man that was going in the temple. He was in LDS church, the Mormon church, and he was a man, and he was in the temple, and then he sent me a picture of himself half nude. Before that he had a suit on. He was nice clothes, and suddenly he sent me a half nude picture, and I got a very hard reaction of it, because that is not me. That he saw me as a woman that he wanted to have sexual talking on the internet with, and wanted, of course, next thing he should do was to ask me about pictures of my body, and pictures that showing the most of what I have on my body, what I have, how I look like. Like a fantasy for him, to not showing everything, but showing the most I could. And that's not me. And that means that man, for me is it that man, he didn't respect me. He didn't respect, he was going after what he wanted to get. And that should be the same sort of man that I have had my whole life. That they don't respect me, they don't ask me how I feel about it, they are assume that I should be there for them, be laying in a bed and waiting for them to come into the bed, and serve them food and do these things that men expect women to be if they are wrong-minded. So that was not a man for me. I blocked him because that was nothing to talk to. And so I'm happy that I can see it as it is today, that I had learned from my dysfunctional family, and most of everything my brother, that I was there for men to do whatever they want to do with me, but never ever ask me what they can do for me, what to do to make me happy, to ask if it's okay to be half nude and send picture to me like that. It was no respect at all. And that's what it have been for me my whole life. I have been something only to use, but no one to take care of or asking what they can do for me. Nothing. Only be there to serve the man. And that's not me. I'm a free person. I am free as a woman, and I want to be a partner with my man. Not something that he should take advantage of. We should work together. And in that way that he was sending me the picture, that means that he was better than me, over me. I was his submissive person that he should hunt and get. And that's not me. And it was like heaven was coming to me in the night, about 3 o'clock in the night, and they were talking to me that I should not be with that man. And in the same time, it's we can talk about it, that they send me this man. But then can I ask if they send me this man for to see if I should go with that man in whatever he did to me. And I saw now that I don't go with that kind of man. That like I am there for them only. They are not there for me. Have never been in my life. I have been in love with men, and twice in my life I have been in love, but they have not wanted me. And those men I could have got, it was because I gave myself to them, to be under them, to serve them, to lay there in the bed and wait for them to come and do whatever they want. And my daughter's father, he said to me many times, but I didn't want to listen because I was longing for a baby. And I ignored what he was saying. That was my fault. Because he said to me many times, I don't want any kids, he said to me. I want to be a bachelor my whole life. I don't want to have anything holding me. I want to be free, he said to me. Not free in that way that he wanted me to leave him because he wanted the sex with me. But he didn't want. He wanted sex with me. He wanted me to make food for him. And he wanted me to clean up the home for him, to be there as a service. But no kids with him. And then I did my daughter. And he owns her now, and I don't have that daughter. she don't help me when I need help. She's my daughter, but she talked to me. She chat with me, uh, maybe 1 or 2 times a week now. Before she maybe talked to me once every second month. But now, since I was in Israel, she think I have the money. I have the money. She don't understand because she don't have the same God as me. She believe in Jesus as God, and she believe in money. And I don't say that she have learned it, but they have encouraged her to look at the money, and she had that inside her to, because her father is very wealthy, so he had it in him. I have not been in. I should love to be wealthy. I don't say that, but I am not hunting for money. Of course, should have, if I had win the lottery ticket that was this week, last week, and I have thinking, what should I do with all this money? And of course, I should make healing on myself so I can enjoy life. Do everything I can buy for money when it comes to health care. And then I should buy me some houses in different places on earth, so I can, when it's going cold here, I go into a warm country, and some house in the city and some house out in the forest, and have a car and pay a person to drive the car for me. I should have that, but I don't hunt for money. That's different. If I got the money, I should be very thankful, but I don't hunt for it. And so today, when I was to the health care, I had two times with nurse and doctors. I had this test, a blood test today, and then I should go to the nurse and wrap my legs. And my legs, it seems very nice. The water have going away from the legs, and half of it, the lowest of the legs. And when I sit and wait for a taxi to come, and I close my eyes and was not thinking really, but only wait for the time to slipping away, so the taxi will soon be there. And I sit for 1.5 hours and wait, and then suddenly it was like heaven open, and out came from heaven, and they were talking to me about a God. And in Genesis, in the Bible, they say that they should make man like they in heaven. I don't know exactly how it should be read, but it's to make man like God, to be like those in heaven. We should be that here on earth. We are born with the Spirit. The Spirit is coming with us, and it's coming. One angel is coming with us when we are born, and it is so hard because the earth is taking us. So as soon as we are here on earth, we started to be affected of the world and not of the spirit world. That is, we are far from it, and we be more and more far from it, and in that way we are far from God, and we need to find our way back to God. And it's not that here in our earthly life we should the LDS church, the Mormon church, it's saying that when we are born here on earth, we need to find our way back to God. But it's not really true that, what they are saying. It's like in the end we should be coming back to God. But we should as soon as we can. And that is what they see from heaven also. If our parents bring us up on the path where the path that are going up to heaven, to God, but on our way to come to heaven, as soon as we can, we need to be taught. We learn from other people. They need to teach us the truth. But in many generations, is it more and more lost, this education? Because our parents is also lost. So how can they help us to understand when they don't understand? Even if they are 40 years old and our grandparents is 60 years old and our grand is 80 years old, and they don't know how to teach. They teach from the books, but what they should teach is from the Spirit, because that's the truth, laying in the Spirit. And now I was 48 years old when I started to learn about the spirit world. And I didn't understood those first years because I was in homeless in United States, and it was very much about to only survive in United States, as I had no money, I had no home, I had no friends, I had no church, nothing. So for me was it to first to only survive, and in that survive was to come to know who was the real God. And that was hard for me because I was to the church every day, and sometimes 3 times a day to church, because I thought there in those churches I was that I should got help, because I was thinking they can see that I don't do drugs, or I don't drink, but it was the problem was that God was sending me to black churches and I was white, and that's caused the problem that they didn't want to help me, as there were so many black people that had problems. So they prefer to help their own people, like they say to me. They say that to me many times. Their own people was those with that was black in their skin, and I was white in the skin, so they didn't want to help me. And I was going to from church to church, and I say to God in the mornings that God should lead me to a church, and a church that could help me. In my situation, I was locked into United States and had nothing. I have told you that I didn't have anything to eat for 3-4 days, and I was thinking that I should take the food at the restaurant. There were food on the tables, and I tried to do that, but when I come to the tables, there were birds eating the food, so I couldn't eat that food. And I was very, very hungry. I didn't know how to do it, as I have never been poor, or never been homeless. And and I didn't know the church either, because I have not been in very few times in the church, but not really been in the church. And so I come more and more. I have to learn to could survive. I have been I have died if I have not had any food to eat. But then I have told you that one night God come and talk to me that he should help me to find a church that should help me. And they helped me for a little while, and for some, maybe 1 week. And that is what they were talking about today. That is not about the body of God, that we should be the same. People think that like to look like Jesus. That's it. And that's why women can't be like Jesus and not be close to God. Like that they are thinking. But it is not about the body of God. God is a spirit, and we should be like God, a spirit. And those that was with God from the beginning, they were also spirits. It was not a body. And I have been up to heaven, and that is very hard to understand, that when I come into heaven, they were standing there, women and men, and they were standing on each side of like a path. It was not a path like we have here on earth. It was only that they created a way for me to walk into heaven at. It was the way that they act, how they move, and they move one on each side. Men and women was mixed on both sides, and they had a white robe. All of them had white robe. But for me, I don't know how they look under those white robes. They only standing there, and I heard the song they were singing when I come in. And that song have they explained for me that it was their heart that was singing. So they say that they had a heart, but they didn't say if they have legs. If they have feet, they maybe was flying, but I saw them as they had legs. And I am waiting for someone to come through from heaven to tell us what was it I really was seeing in heaven. I saw they showing me sweeping their arms around in a landscape, and it was not full of tree. It was like in the middle of everything, and in the path was that city that I had already seen in 1978, and now I saw it again, 2018, and so. The spirit that is coming through. He said that I should go and lay down in the bed, and he is going to explain for me, he say, but not by sitting here and recording. So I have eaten lunch, and now I start to be sleepy, and he want me to go to sleep, And I don't know if He's going to show me and talk to me when in my sleep. Why He want me to go there. I will see. And then I do one more recording today and tell you what He have told me. Or He will tell us when I recording. So thank you for listening, and God bless you.